Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. As you can see by the title, it is that time of the month again. So in today's video, we will be taking a look at my top 10 upcoming sneakers for the month of December. With Christmas right around the corner, I'm hopeful that you guys are going to be able to get as many cops off this list that you actually want. And as it is the Christmas season, I pulled out the Grinch Christmas jumper, just had to be. But before we go ahead and actually get stuck into the video itself, just like I always do, I want to say a massive thank you to all of my returning subscribers. If you are new around here, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you can be notified every single time I drop a video just like this. If you do want to enjoy our video, please give us a massive thumbs up, which is always truly appreciated. And if you do want to reach out to me outside of YouTube, you will be able to find me on Instagram under ACS Sneakers. And now we've got all those formalities out of the way, sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and get straight into this video.
Ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas!
So just like I always do before we get stuck into one of these lists, I want to let you guys know that all this information does come courtesy from the Soul Supplier's website. Now, we'll make sure to leave a link in my description area below to the Soul Supplier, as well as an individual link to each individual release, just in case you want to check them out in any more detail. Now, like we all pretty much know, there have been crazy delays right the way around the world, so do take these days with a pinch of salt. They may change, either being brought forward with shock drops or even pushed back into the new year because of all these, crazy delays. So like I say, take it with a pinch of salt, but hopefully, as of today's date, all the information is correct, so hopefully these shoes will come out as planned. But with all that said and all that waffling done, let's go ahead and get into number one for today's list. And kicking off this festive video, we have a festive release. So to kick off the month, we have the Home Alone Adidas Forum Low in the white and red colourway. Now this is scheduled to be releasing on December 1st for a retail price of £85. And by the time you guys are seeing this video, this shoe will have already released. Now, as of today's date, as I'm actually sitting here doing this video, to be honest, the only place I've actually seen releasing this shoe is the Confirmed app for Adidas. I'm not sure if there will be more raffles down the road and maybe shipments are just delayed, so places like End and Foot Patrol haven't released them just yet. But as far as I can see, the only thing we're actually getting at the moment is a confirmed release. But the shoe itself, absolutely fire. I mean, who doesn't love Home Alone? I mean, for me, this is probably one of the best Christmas films of all time. So as soon as I saw that they were doing a collaboration on this Forum Low, I was definitely interested. Seeing the pictures up close and you're seeing the little scuff marks, the little scuff details, to kind of replicate what happens in the film. And then you've got like the characters on the insoles, which I thought was a really, really nice touch. I know not a lot of people are even going to be able to see that when they're on feet, or anyone going to be able to see it when they're on feet. But as from a collector standpoint and just a sneaker enthusiast like we all are, it's a really great shoe. I hope it comes with a special box to mark the release as well. And for me, just from the nostalgic point of view, definitely 100% a must cop. Relatively affordable to start us off the month right. November was a very tough month for me when it came to shoes that I actually wanted. So I'm hoping that December's a little bit kinder. And I am definitely hoping to pretty much get this pair to rock. So moving on to the next shoe up on our list, we actually have a collaboration. This time it's between Josh Vidas and New Balance for the 5740 as well as the 327. Now both of these shoes are scheduled to be releasing on the 2nd of December for a retail price of £130 and £110 respectively. Now I do actually want to throw this over to two really incredible people that I've actually met through doing sneaker YouTube, and that is DJ Soul Agenda and his wife Shaz. Now they've actually done a review of both the 5740 and the 327. Great review, highly recommend you do go ahead and check it out if you are interested in either of these shoes. From watching their review and going in detail as they do, the 5740 definitely sparked my interest. I'm not the biggest New Balance guy, and I pretty much say that every time a New Balance pops up on our list. I'm just not as appreciative of the brand as I imagine a lot of you guys are. But with that said, the 5740, really nice shoe, is actually the first New Balance pair of shoes I ever owned. I had the Grey Days, I think they were called. Now, I'm not exactly sure if I'm actually going to be going for these. Like I say, I enjoyed the review from DJ Soul Agenda, and I definitely can appreciate the shoe, but with that said, I'm not necessarily sure, given every release that we're going to be getting in December, if this is a must cop for me. If you guys do want to see a review, please make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below as soon as you can, because like I say, they are dropping on the 2nd of December, and this video will go live on the 1st. But I'm going to be honest, from my personal perspective, I think that these shoes should be relatively accessible. I don't really see them selling out. I mean, they could sell out, but I just can't really see it. But I could be completely wrong. Like I say, I'm not necessarily the best person to ask when it comes to New Balance. Really nice shoes. They're definitely the 5740 over the 327. But either which way, really good release and good luck to everybody that's hoping to grab a pair. So moving on to the next shoe up on our list, we definitely have a contender for best release in December. It is the Amamon Air Jordan 1 High, releasing for a retail price of £170 on the 3rd of December. Now this shoe is already loaded up onto Sneakers app, raffles are starting to go live at places like End and Foot Patrol, and I do expect that that's going to continue to be the case right the way throughout. It is an absolutely beautiful shoe. I don't really do Jordan 1s, but I'm doing everything I possibly can do to get this shoe for my personal collection. The materials they've used look incredible. The craftsmanship on all the pictures and all the videos I've seen looks impeccable. It's really hard to tell craftsmanship when you see in the videos and pictures, but sometimes it can, really tell the story of how the shoe is going to be. And considering how well the Jordan 3 was made and how people absolutely love that shoe, I do expect this shoe to be an absolute knockout 10 out of 10 shoe. A lot of people were saying that the Bordeaux were better. I really don't see it. The Bordeaux Jordan 1s, whilst being a really nice shoe, definitely wasn't a must-cop for a lot of people, myself included. And I know people are saying that Jordan 1s are losing the hype and Jordans in general are losing the hype. But I think we all just need to consider it is Christmas time. People do have families and other responsibilities. So if we do see an upsurge in shoes sitting, let's not look at it as the shoes are bricks. Let's just appreciate the fact that we can actually get them, because we spent a whole year complaining about not being able to get them. So you can't really please everybody, and I don't think that this shoe is going to fit into that category. I think that this shoe is going to sell out immediately. The resale price is probably going to be exuberant. Not sure if it's going to touch the levels of the Jordan 3. I feel like that as a women's release, there is that exclusivity in terms of sizing and availability. And especially as you get up to the higher sizes, it just seems like they limit it quite a bit. So whilst I do think that this shoe is easily going to be a £400 or £500 shoe eventually, I don't see that being an immediate case as soon as the shoe does release. I'm not an expert, I'll keep stressing that, but this is a shoe that I absolutely do want, but I honestly will not be paying resale for it. So fingers crossed I am able to get it. I'm praying to the sneaker gods, as I imagine a lot of you guys are as well. This is definitely a shoe that I would absolutely love to see under the Christmas tree on Christmas Day. So moving on to the next shoe up on our list, we have the Yeezy 500 in the ash grey, scheduled to be releasing on the 4th of December for a retail price of £180. Absolutely fire shoe. Perfect for this time of year, and it really is a great shoe to add into your personal collection if you are looking for that everyday type of wear. Now, I've never owned a pair of 500s, but everybody I've spoken to about the 500 absolutely loves them and vouches for them in terms of things like comfort and styling and just overall aesthetics. So I'm trying to actively try and get any 500 I can at this point, just so I can actually see for myself and be able to bring you guys, my thoughts and my opinions on it in a future review. But seeing this shoe just in terms of how it looks aesthetically, fire colorway, really simple, really clean. It is definitely a shoe that I'm really interested in. If this was the only shoe I copped in December, I probably would be a little bit disappointed because there are some absolute heaters. But if this is, say, for example, something you could cop alongside the Amamon Years, or if you get maybe a New Balance, or any of the other shoes that we see on this list, I do think it will complement a lot of collections really nicely. 500s, like most Yeezys, do tend to sell out. And I do expect that this is going to be exactly the same. I expect that the shoe is going to fly off shelves. And even though like Yeezy as a brand and as a trend isn't where it used to be 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, it is still a very, very nice shoe and a lot of people absolutely love it. So don't be sitting around waiting thinking that this is going to be an easy cop. By no means do I think it'll be an easy cop. So get your raffle entries in. It should be releasing via raffle as well as on the Adidas Confirmed app. So moving on to the next shoe up on the list, which is definitely my favourite release of the entire month. We have the Air Jordan 11 Cool Grey, scheduled to be releasing on the 11th of December for a retail price of £170. Now, I know a lot of you guys are watching this video, are either YouTubers or just fans of sneakers, and a lot of people that watch my videos and I watch theirs have all got their pairs early. It seems like there's an absolute flood of these, especially in America. I think I've watched about 10 to 15 reviews already because of the exclusive access that went out. Unfortunately, us here in the UK, it seems like we had an exclusive access run, but it was nowhere near to the extent or size of what we saw in the States. So I didn't get my pair early. I'm not paying resale to get it early because like all Jordan 11s, they do tend to make a lot of pairs and make sure they are catering for us. The Jubilees released early last year. I did actually pay retail early, so shout out to the guy that sorted me out for them. Nobody's offered me that just yet, so I guess I will be waiting until the release date. I'm not pressed, I'm not stressed. I do think that this is a shoe that I definitely will be able to get. It's an absolute classic. I'm not exactly sure when we last saw it, but I do know that it released in 2001, and then I think it was 2011, and now we're getting another one this year. But it is a really exciting shoe for me. Definitely, a little bit of a spoiler alert, will be making my top 10 sneakers of the year. I'm so excited for it. Now, unfortunately, we haven't actually seen any of the raffles being released just yet. I'm checking it on a daily basis. Now, the ones I normally check for anyone who's interested is Size, Foot Patrol, End, Hannon, and all those other places, Well Gosh even. And I do expect that over the next coming week, because we will then be into December, we'll start to see those raffles listed. It is already on the Sneakers app for anyone who's wondering, and I do believe it is releasing in full family sizing. So if you're like me and you want to get the whole family out, they will be available for you to hopefully cop on the Sneakers app as well. So moving on to the next shoe up on our list, we have what I feel like is Nike's attempt at a stocking filler, as we have the Nike SB Dunk Low Fog scheduled to be releasing on the 13th of December for a retail price of £95. Now, for me personally, it's a very plain, very boring looking shoe. It even looks like somebody's just gone on to Nike ID and created this colorway. A mostly black upper, silver swoosh with that gum outsole. Don't get me wrong, if you're feeling it and you're really excited for it, more power to you. And I definitely feel like, because it's made for skateboarders and they're going to rough the shoes up and scuff them and beat them up, this colorway is probably going to work absolutely beautifully for you. But if you're wearing this casually and just to actually rock, it's a little bit too plain for me, and it's definitely not a shoe that I'm even going to be looking at. The reason I have included it is, even though we're having quite a lot of exciting releases in December, there's not necessarily that many that I feel like would actually outdo this one in terms of sales and in terms of will it actually sell out. So whilst there may be better shoes in general in December, I still do see that this one is probably going to sell out. I don't think the resale price is going to be exuberant. I think this is going to be relatively affordable in terms of, paying resale if you are willing to pay resale. But it's just not a shoe that I feel like is going to garner that much attention. There are so many other releases coming in December that I feel like a lot of people's focuses will be on the Cool Greys, the Amamonyers, and best believe me, a lot of other releases that are coming out throughout the rest of the month. So for me, it's definitely going to be a pass, but I do still see that it is actually going to sell out. So if you are really interested in this shoe, raffles should be available, and it should also be releasing on the Sneakers app. If I'm not mistaken, it may even already be on the Sneakers app as of today. So moving on to the next shoe upon our list, which actually isn't a first release for the first time on this list, as next up we have the Yeezy 350 V2 in the Beluga reflective colorway. Now this is scheduled to be re-releasing on the 18th of December for a retail price of £180. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't really seen that much information about this shoe. I've only really seen it on a couple of different websites, and especially on the Soul Supplier. So if the date does change, don't kill the messenger. This is just what I'm seeing online as of today. Now, the Beluga colorway, for a lot of people, is a grail. It's one of the best 350 colorways of all time. Even I would say that. For me, personally, it goes Zebras, Breds, Belugas. And with that in mind, with it being a top 3 or even a top 5 colorway for me, absolutely, unequivocally, this is definitely a shoe I'll be going for. Adidas' confirmed app doesn't love me, and I don't expect that to change. I don't really expect that I'm going to have any luck actually copying these. But hopefully, with it being Christmas, I have a little bit of, maybe festive look on my side, and I'm able to actually get my very first pair of Belugas. It's an absolutely fire colorway. It's classic, it's timeless, it's easy to rock. And if you just look at the Beluga resale prices, even though we are going to be getting a re-release, whilst I can see it coming down slightly, there is a lot of money to be made on this release. This shoe is definitely 100% going to sell out. It's a really exciting release. I expect everybody that got the original Beluga release probably wants to go ahead and get a fresh pair for their collections. So this is definitely a shoe that you do need to do all your footwork early. If there are raffles, get in on them. Make sure you're signing up on the confirmed app. If you haven't already, do make sure to download it. And good luck to everybody that's trying to get a pair. Good luck to me as well. I've never even owned a pair. So moving on to the next shoe up on our list, it does seem like Kanye has gone right back into the archives and is pulling out another classic. As next up we have the Yeezy 350 V2 in the blue tint colorway, scheduled to be releasing on the 22nd of December for a retail price of £180. Just to reiterate, not sure if they will be releasing on this date. This is just the information that I've seen online. Now for me, I will definitely take the Belugas over the blue Tint, but I'm honestly not that picky or that fussy, so either which way, either one of these colourways will definitely do the justice that I need. I don't have any 350s, I would definitely love to start getting some again. I went through a little phase where I completely went off it. I think a lot of people were very similar. I ended up selling every single pair of 350s that I had. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have that many, but I shifted them all on. I moved on from that phase, but seeing the classics, seeing these really clean colorways definitely has sparked my interest in it again. And I think that could be the same for everybody. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But this is another shoe that I'll be going for. If I get the Belugas, I'll pass on these. I'm completely honest. I won't need them and I won't want them at that point. You know, buying 2 pairs of 350s just the week before Christmas, the misses would absolutely kill me. But if I can get either one, I definitely won't be disappointed. I do think this shoe will sell out as well, and I do think resale will be pretty high. Nowhere near what we'll probably see with the Belugas, in my personal opinion, but I do still think that there is money to be made. Do check out the raffles guide once again. I'm going to keep repeating this throughout the video because all the information will be on there for future releases and also inside information on, you know, how you can actually try and do your best to get this pair. If you do want this one, good luck, and let me know as well which one you prefer, whether you're going for the Belugas or the blue Tint. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And just like that, we've reached number 9 for today's list, honing in on that final release, which is definitely an exciting one, so do make sure to stick around for that. But next up, we have the Air Jordan 1 Atmosphere Pink, scheduled to also be releasing on the 22nd of December for a retail price of £140. Now, I have seen things online suggesting that this shoe may actually be pushed back. Nothing confirmed as yet in terms of if it's releasing that date or if it's been pushed back. So do make sure you're watching and keeping up to date with Sneaker News and Soul Supplier and all these other good publications to make sure you don't miss out. But this shoe, fire. Absolutely fire to me. I couldn't necessarily rock this colorway, but I can definitely still appreciate it. And sometimes that's just pretty much how it is, where we really appreciate a certain shoe, but know that we really couldn't pull it off. And that's pretty much how I feel about this shoe. Really clean. It's a Jordan 1. It's super versatile. It's easy to wear in terms of like styling wise. Jordan 1s necessarily aren't very comfortable shoes as far as my experience goes. So isn't necessarily a shoe you'd want to wear all day, every day, but for that special occasion, when the time hits you just right, this would be a very nice, versatile shoe for the collection. I'm not sure if it is a women's release. Honestly haven't seen that much information on it. If it is a women's release, expect sizing to be limited as well. With it being a Jordan 1, 100% going to sell out. Even though the hype is dying and the trend is downwards and you're seeing all these things, this shoe is definitely going to sell out. Have no doubts in my mind that it will sell out. I'm not sure how it'll do for resale, and I know there's a lot of other pages out there that you'll be able to find much more detailed information on. So do make sure to check out some of those hold or sell videos close to the time. And if you really want it, good luck to everybody that's trying to get it. And last but by no means least, we've reached number 10 for today's list. This is definitely a shoe that I know everybody that's stuck around for is actually fully expecting. Next up, we have the Air Jordan 1 High OG in the patent Bred colorway, scheduled to be releasing on the 30th of December for a retail price of £145. Now, I expect anybody that's really excited for this shoe has probably already seen the review from Seth Fowler. Absolute banger of a review. I myself saw it. As soon as he uploaded it, I had to go and check it out. The shoe, absolutely fire. Looks absolutely beautiful. And I feel like it's doing the justice that the trophy rooms didn't. You know, when the trophy rooms released, everybody was so excited for it. But ultimately, no one really got them, really. Let's be honest, except these resellers and a lot of YouTubers as well. And I feel like with this particular release, whilst it is going to be definitely getting into the hands of resellers, and it's definitely going to be a shoe that is going to be super limited, I do expect that this shoe in particular is definitely going to be releasing in much larger quantities. I think a lot more people are actually going to be able to get them. And I also do feel like the release in general, even for a lot of people, is just maybe a little bit more exciting. I'm not sure how you feel about it, but for me, the trophy rooms, it was kind of a bland release. Don't get me wrong, at the time I was excited to try and get a pair, but then seeing how much carnage was surrounding it, it kind of really dulled how I feel about that shoe. Whereas with this one, I'm fully anticipating that it's going to be a complete free-for-all. It's going to be, everybody's going to be so excited to get this shoe, and that's myself included. I don't really like wearing patent leather Jordans other than the 11s, honestly. Like, they did release a patent leather Jordan 1, you know, a few months back. I completely passed on it just because of how it looks when you've actually worn it. But from a collector standpoint, the Bred colorway, timeless, elegant, beautiful. Never owned any of those colorways, you know, on any of their releases. So this is definitely a shoe I have to get, simple as that. I won't pay resale for it, but if I can get it for retail, I will definitely cherish that shoe very, very close to my heart. And my birthday is just like a week after the release, so hopeful that the festive season brings a little bit more luck. The fact my birthday's a week later, hopefully that brings me some luck, but definitely optimistic thinking over here. Definitely a really exciting release, definitely going to sell out. Resale price is still going to be really high, don't get me wrong. And this is definitely a shoe, once again, you definitely need to do all your footwork for, because this is definitely a shoe you do not want to miss out on. And with all that said, we've wrapped up my top 10 upcoming sneakers for the month of December. I'd love to hear yours, so do make sure to leave me a comment in the comment section below. If you did stick around to this point in the video, I do want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video. And I hope to see you all again in the next one.